You've probably seen coaches online bragging about their $1 million businesses. But what you don't see is the truth behind this highlight reel. In this video, I'm going to pull back the curtain and share some real confessions of running a 7-figure coaching business. I'm going to share the struggles, the mistakes, and the lessons that no one shares, but every coach needs to hear. If you're new to my channel, my name is Peter Scott. I'm the founder of Fearless Coach Academy, where I've mentored thousands of coaches over the last 10 years. So mistake number one that I see 7-figure coaches make is prioritizing marketing and sales over fulfillment. You see, when you're just starting out, it doesn't matter how good of a coach you are if no one knows that you exist. And so you do need to develop the skills of marketing, lead generation, and sales, conversion. And in fact, that's what I did. At first, I put all of my energy and all of my time into developing those skills. And in the beginning, it was exactly what I should do. And it's exactly what you should do when you're starting out. But at a certain point, you cannot continue to neglect the quality of your fulfillment. And that's the number one mistake that I personally have made that I'm ashamed of even admitting in this video. Because I thought for me to help more people, then I just needed to generate more leads and get more clients. And partially that is true. But the problem was, if I was getting all these clients, but not actually fulfilling on the promise and delivering real quality service, then am I really helping them in the first place? I did this for years, and I am so grateful to have shifted my mindset. So yes, if you're just starting the journey, then develop those skills to learn how to craft a message that cuts through the noise, to learn how to generate consistent leads on autopilot, to learn how to convert strangers into paying clients, but also develop the skills to deliver world-class fulfillment, to turn those clients into raving fans so that they stay with you, so that they re-enroll with you, so that they refer others to you. And over time, your lifetime value increases. If you are at 6 figures, or if you have a coaching business launch, but you're not where you want to be financially, this is probably the core reason why you are stuck. Because every new client leaves at a certain point and you have to get a new client and a new client to replace that. And you're on that hamster wheel of client acquisition. What if you created so much value that a client never left? This is a real confession, a mistake that I made, something that I overlooked, that I'm super grateful to my mentors to shining a light on a blind spot. And I'm hoping in this video that you don't make this mistake like I did. The second big mistake is delaying to build a world-class fulfillment team of coaches. You see, in the beginning, you will only be doing one-on-one coaching. And that's where every coach should start, is because you don't have a clear process yet and you need to build your skills to deliver a great service. So start one-on-one. But as your coaching business grows, just like mine, you'll need to start thinking about how to offer group coaching and leverage time for money. Because if you stay in one-on-one, you're just trading time for money all day. But when you can scale, now you're leveraging your time. But how do you do that? Yes, you can introduce a group call and have, 10, 15, 20 people on that call and you deliver that. But at a certain point, those clients will need, if you're offering a real valuable service, some one-on-one support. But the problem is, you as the CEO, as the founder, don't really have the time to do that. And so the mistake that I personally made was delaying to build the team of world-class coaches who can deliver that one-on-one on my behalf. At first I dabbled with this. I brought on some coaches, different coaches that worked for me part-time. Some of them were great, but some of them were distracted. And what you don't want to do is have coaches on your team that are distracted where their number one priority is not helping your clients win. Because then the quality of your fulfillment plummets. And so the lesson that I learned was learning to let go of control, learning to trust others, ask for help, and train the coaches properly so that your clients get great support with them. This is something that I did way too late in the game. And it was almost like, psychologically, I had one foot on the gas, right? I was running ads, I was generating leads, I was getting clients, but I had one foot on the brake that I wasn't even aware of because every new client caused more pain to me, meaning I had to come in and serve and support them when something wasn't working right. But if I had trained the coaches on my team properly, then those problems would never have happened, and our clients would have gotten better results in a faster time and stuck around and referred others. So as you grow and you reach the ceiling of one-on-one coaching, which you will if you're doing a good job, then you want to get into a state where now you've got to develop the skills of recruiting, interviewing, hiring, and onboarding world-class coaches so that it frees you up from the delivery. When you are the bottleneck in your own fulfillment, your business is stuck. You will not get to 7 figures or where you want to go. Mistake number 3, and I hope you appreciate the honesty of this video. It's really uncomfortable for me to share all of these big mistakes and lessons that I learned, but I'm going to do it anyway, hoping that you can avoid those mistakes. Mistake number 3 is being overly dependent on paid ads to generate leads. Listen, paid ads are great. They are more challenging today than they were 5-10 years ago because you can't target like you used to. You have to really dial in your messaging to get in front of your ideal client. The other thing is that there's a lot more competition, especially in the coaching space. So whether you're a business coach or a leadership executive coach, or even a health coach, a life coach, there's a lot of coaches out there, right? This is a pretty saturated industry. So because of that, there's a lot of competition. Ad costs are going up. People's blindness towards ads. We don't believe stuff anymore. Trust is at an all-time low. All those things are happening. And so a bad place to be is where I was at a certain point where we lived and died based on ads. Some months were great if the algorithm treated us well. Some months totally sucked if the algorithm didn't. And what I would recommend doing is, yes, you do need to use paid ads. If you want to grow a successful business, then you need to learn to advertise and scale the business. Now, again, not everyone has to do this. Somebody may just be satisfied with a one-on-one bespoke 6-figure coaching business, and there's nothing wrong with that. But if you really want to scale your impact, ads are the fastest way to do that. But you don't want to only do ads. Ads is one lead source. It's not the only one. And the mistake that I made is we were just over-dependent on ads. We didn't really have great organic marketing strategies. At the time, we didn't have a YouTube channel. We just ran ads on Facebook and Instagram to a lead magnet. We got some leads, and it could take months or years to nurture people. But now installing organic strategies like a YouTube channel, it collapsed the sales time. It lowered the cost to acquire a customer. It increased the lifetime value because our conversion rate was better and we were able to charge more because we're providing better service. So organic strategies are really important, but also partnership strategies. This is a highly overlooked technique or strategy that blows my mind. But imagine partnering with people that are already communicating with your ideal audience and they're offering a totally different product or service. So they're not a competitor of yours and you're creating partnerships with them. And now you're getting referrals. And yes, you're still paying them for referrals, but you're not dependent anymore on paid ads. One big change we made in the last 24 months was we created some really incredible strategic partnerships. We partner with coach certification companies. We partner with people in the coaching space that are offering a different service. And now we're getting more consistent leads that are more qualified because they're referrals to us. And we're not trying to manufacture trust with a total stranger. And we're not as dependent on paid ads. So everything is improving from that. And that's one thing you want to think about doing at a certain stage. That's the third mistake that we made. The fourth is, and this is shocking probably to you if you've watched any of my videos, is honestly, staying too broad on our niche and message. The challenge with the work that we do is that almost anyone could benefit. Me, meaning teaching you how to generate leads, get clients, all those things, specifically any type of coach. But the problem with that is that we were helping life coaches and health coaches and energy healers and chakra tweakers and, all these types of coaches. And our message was super broad. And when we decided to narrow down into working with corporate leaders and business leaders to launch their coaching business, we got more qualified leads. We got better conversion. We got better results for our clients because we narrowed down our niche. And so that's a really important piece. It does take time to do this because there's all sorts of insecurities of missing out on opportunity and, choosing the wrong niche. And these are all just limiting beliefs that you've got to work through. But the more narrow that you get, the more faster success that you will have and also the bigger impact you will have because you'll get more clients from that. So just don't model me in making that mistake. The fifth and final mistake is letting my ego enroll a client who I knew was not coachable. Now, when you're building, it's understandable to be in a little bit of a place of scarcity, right? Because you don't have a lot of cash flow coming in. And my first year, I was in that place. And I'll never forget this person who came across me on social media, booked a sales call with me, and I immediately knew that they were not coachable. They were not willing to step outside of their comfort zone. They were not willing to implement the strategies that I was teaching them. But my ego was involved, and I thought of myself as this coach who could do anything to facilitate transformation. And so reluctantly, I brought on the client, and I didn't listen to my gut and my intuition. And that turned out to be a total disaster. It turned out to be a challenge every single call. They weren't showing up to calls. They weren't doing the work. I was the enemy, all of those things. And I'm going to take responsibility for that because that wasn't their problem. It was mine. I saw that coming in before they even became a client. And yet my ego allowed them to still come in. So what I want you to hear in this mistake portion is that the wrong client is 1,000 times worse than no client at all. You've got to get really clear on who your ideal client is and to ensure that they are coachable, open-minded, willing to do the work. Because if you don't, then it's going to require a lot more of your time and energy. They will probably badmouth you, and it will take away from your ability to serve your other clients because you have that one bad client. So that would be the fifth and other big mistake that I made. I hope that this video is useful. It is very vulnerable for me to share these confessions as a coach. And I hope that you extract the lessons to avoid these mistakes so that you can get to the levels of impact, income, and freedom that you truly desire. Before I wrap up this video, I have my usual request, which is if you found this to be valuable, then go ahead and subscribe to my channel so you never miss a future video. And one of the best series of videos on our channel is the series on how to start a coaching business. It teaches you the fundamentals. If you want to check that out, go click up and watch this video right here. And I look forward to seeing you in the next video.